Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome. I already said that. I was about to repeat what I just said. Anyway, this is my review of The Long Walk by my favorite author, personally, Stephen King. Just fiddling around here to get the book. I read this from a collection of short stories. A collection of Bachman books. I read it from this red edition. You could probably search it up. Just search up the Bachman books. Came out. This was my dad's copy. Pretty old copy. Looks pretty nice. Has Rage, Long Walk, Road Work, and The Running Man inside. And I gotta say right off the bat, I loved this book. It was so good. And I know you might not trust my opinion, because if you watch maybe any of my reviews in the last year or so, or on my whole channel, you might see that I say I say I love the book. The thing is though is that a lot of these books I've been reading this past year have been all of them have been recommendations. And all of them have been really good recommendations, obviously, because I mostly say it's amazing. Except The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'm pretty sure I said I loved that one, but now that I look back on it, I didn't really like it that much. I think I gave it a 4-star, but I think I would have gave it a 2-star. Just looking at my channel right now. Anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about The Long Walk by Stephen King. If you watch my 5 favorite authors, you would know that Stephen King is my number 1 author. He's such charismatic, and his writing is just so good. And this is my 6th Stephen King book. I read The Shining first, then I read Salem's Lot, then I read The Gunslinger, then I read The Drawing of the Three, which is book 1 and 2 of the Dark Tower series. You can see reviews on my channel. I think those are my first couple videos. I changed the title of some of those just so it's easier to go around. So I read those 4 books, and then I read Misery in January or February of 2021. Then I read The Long Walk, which is my 6th book, yesterday, so in June. I can't get over how good this book was. It's obviously not going to appeal to everyone, and I'm going to say who it might not appeal to, but I'll go to spoiler free, then I go to spoilers after. If you have read the book, then you can watch my spoilers. Obviously, don't watch my spoilers if you have not read the book. Okay, so this book is called The Long Walk, and it is about 100 young teenage boys that volunteer. That you have to volunteer to be in this competition where you walk and you just keep walking, and you have to be over 4 miles an hour, which, if you go on a treadmill, is really fast, or if you have a speedometer or something. But 4 miles is actually pretty fast. Like, it might not seem a lot, but it is, like, it's pretty fast. Yeah, so you have to be over 4 miles an hour, or if you go below 4 miles an hour, you get a warning. After 3 warnings, you get shot and killed. I know, it's pretty horrific, but it gives a lot of tense moments and a lot of sad moments. Because it's, I'm not gonna say much more than that because I don't want to spoil it, but it's amazing. It came out before The Hunger Games, so Susan Collins, I'm pretty sure, got a bit of inspiration from this, because this was one of the original Battle Royale kind of books. Along next to, I think there was a Japanese book called Battle Royale. I think that's what it was called. I haven't really checked that one out, but I heard there was a Japanese book called that, which kind of started the Battle Royale trend. Anyway, Long Walk definitely inspired Susan Collins and the rest of the kind of YA dystopian world, because this is definitely dystopian. And it was so good. There's you learn so many good characters, and it's not hard to keep track of them. And there's so many sad moments, and the boys talk, and they become friendships. They form friendships, even though that they know some of them might die, because they walk for hours and hours. and it's just walking for hours is hard, for anyone. But and it's the last one standing, like the last one to keep walking. So there's formed friendships, but it kind of gets sad during the book. But so it's definitely a tense thriller book, but it's also about a coming of age story of these teen boys, and I loved it. So yeah, it's absolutely an amazing book, and if you think it's going to be boring, it definitely is not. I know walking might not be an interesting kind of one-liner, but it is definitely such a good book. And there are talks of Stephen King. He wrote this when he was 17 or 16, so it definitely is very impressive of Stephen King to write that when he was 16, 17, because this is one of his best. I gotta say that. This was written under the surname or pen name Richard Bachman. I don't want to say 100% because I don't really know 100% why he wrote under a pen name, because he started the pen name after he became famous. But yeah, it's a really good book, and now I'll go into spoilers. So if you have not read The Long Walk by Stephen King, please do not listen to spoilers, because I don't want you to be spoiled, because it's a really good book, and I recommend you read it right now. And I definitely think it's a good introduction to Stephen King. This is definitely a good introduction to him. So yeah, please leave if you have not read the book, or because I don't want you to be spoiled. So yeah. So let's go into spoilers now. I don't think this will be as long because I got most of my thoughts out in spoiler free. But a few characters I liked, a few scenes I liked. My favorite character was probably Stebbins. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was such a fun character to read about. He was really quiet and reserved at the start, but then he opened up near the end, and I liked kind of the little twist that he was the Major's son. Major kind of is like a president or in this kind of world, but I really liked that kind of twist. Like, he's the Major's son. I was really like jaw dropped at that kind of twist there, and I liked that. I enjoyed that twist. But I like Stebbins. He's really serious at times. But at the start, he was the quiet kid in the back eating jelly sandwiches, and I was just like, that is gross. Jelly sandwiches in smoking hot weather? No, that does not go well together. But I thought that was pretty funny, and I liked Stebbins a lot. Garrity, the main character that we are reading through the eyes of, pretty good character. McRitch, I think that's how you say his name. These are the first time I'm saying his characters out loud because I was reading this the whole time in my head. But McVries, I thought he was kind of a good character, but then when he told his past story, I was like, I don't really like him now. That was he kind of assaulted, I guess. There's not really much details, but I kind of got the opinion that he hurt his girlfriend, which I didn't really like. His character went way down after I read that. That's all I gotta say. Bargovich didn't like him, but he was also kind of crazy. He's like, I'm gonna stomp on your grave, and just a bunch of kind of comebacks or something, but they're really, really bad, and I don't know. He was kind of a good. I liked his character, but I didn't like. I liked how Stephen King formed his character, but I wouldn't want to be friends with Bargovich. Collie Parker, that's a scene I want to talk about. Collie Parker way of going down was insane. He stood up, he went off the track, off the pavement. He killed, I think, or he was asking, he was like, runners, come on, let's fight the soldiers, and none of the runners helped, but he killed one of the soldiers, which I was like, damn, jeez, Collie. He went down he went down as a pretty good character. Baker going down was pretty hard because Baker was another character I loved. Three Musketeers, McRise, Garrity, and Baker. I love the three characters. Not McRise that much, but Baker was a really good character, and he went down a hero, let's say. I don't know why he didn't, like... I think I might be mixing him up. That's one downside of this book. I'm getting mixed up with all the deaths because there's so many death scenes that I'm kind of... I was like, did Baker die this way, or was he not? But I think Baker died the way he just kept... Like, he got shot multiple times, but he just kept walking. Like, he got up and kept walking. I think that was how he died. And that was kind of pretty hard to read. I love Baker, and it was just he got getting shot. I might be mixing his character up, but I think that's what happened. And last thing I'll talk about, I guess, was I won't be talking about all the scenes, but if you ask me in the comment how I thought of this, then I'll tell you. But the last end scene, I had to search up the ending explained, because I didn't really understand it that much, but now I do. Gary, or McRise was, like, done, and he fell at the end, and McGarity didn't look back, but McRise kind of was, like, dead, like, so suddenly. Like, I felt his death was so sudden, and I was like, whoa, like, I thought he was pretty good a few seconds ago. But McRise died, and then Stebbins and Garrity were good, and then Stebbins suddenly grabbed onto Garrity's chest. Stebbins fell over. Then Garrity looked up and saw this black figure, and he started running towards it. And what I found out was that the black figure was Death, and Garrity, after walking for such a long time, started running as like I'm out, I'm done with this. And I guess he kind of ran toward Death, is what I'm kind of thinking of. Tell me if I'm wrong here, but that's what I got out of it. I felt Stebbins and McRise's death was very sudden. I didn't really like that. I wish we got one extra chapter of Stebbins and Garrity going head to head. None of them want to give up, but then at the end of that last chapter, Stebbins has to go down. I wish we got one chapter because it was so done. Like, McRise died, and then a paragraph after, Stebbins died, which I didn't like that much. But pretty good ending. It was kind of confusing. I think that's what most readers think of. But after reading about the ending, it makes a lot of sense. So I'm assuming Garrity died too. He went towards death. So no one won, essentially. But yeah, there's a lot of things I would love to talk about, but I'm already at 15 minutes. So this was such a good book. I can't really wrap my head around it. I finished it yesterday, and I just had to have 24 hours of I didn't read anything, I just had to think about it, and I love the ending. So, yeah, after reading The Long Walk, I was gonna go into some other fantasy books, a different fantasy book. Like, Long Walk isn't fantasy, but a fantasy book is what I'm trying to say. Like The Alloy of Law, or Warbreaker, or sci-fi like Red Rising. Those are all books that are on my TBR. But I really want to get into another Stephen King, because I'm just really into the Stephen King mood. So I might probably only be reading one TBR book, because I think this is gonna be Stephen King month. I already started Night Shift, which is his first short story collection, and I think shortly after I'm gonna this month read Pet Sematary. I think that's what I'm gonna do, unless I sneak in The Alloy of Law or Red Rising. I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I'm really in the mood to read some Stephen King, and I've only read 6 of his books, which is not a lot compared to the tens that he's read. I think he wrote at 80 or something, or 90, or I think it was 70 or 80. But this has gone on for a long time. Sorry for rambling here. Yeah, really into Stephen King mood. Love The Long Walk. So, yeah, thanks for listening. I'm Ethan, or The Ear. This is season 1, episode 50, 61 of the E-Reader podcast. Thanks for listening.